want to share with you some real life examples of some of our students from all across the world, as I trust that their journeys and what they have achieved is going to inspire what is truly possible for you.
I've done really well at work and I still love what I do, but I knew there was just something missing. And through those coaching sessions, we came to discover that I did want to become a coach myself as well. And that's how I found out about the Coaching Institute. I'm into this journey now 6 months, and I would never look back now. It's been the best decision I've ever taken.
I was looking at all different things. I was going on webinars and buying things around manifesting and just trialing all these different things and loving it. And I came across TCI and it was a values match for me. TCI is all about contribution and giving and using your skills to the best of your ability. And that's what I have loved so much about TCI is it's not just about what you can do. It's about becoming the version of you. That means everything's a possibility for you.
Because I'd thought about looking at being a counsellor or something before, but hadn't figured out how, or it was such a shift and all the learning and stuff. Then got this opportunity to come and work in Australia. So I parked it. The opportunity to work in Australia, the job did not work out. And you happened to pop up on my computer. And I listened to, I think, one of your 3-hour webinars and jumped on the phone at the opportunity to come to Foundations. And that's where it all began.
My first husband was diagnosed with cancer. So he was 32 years old. And I had a period of 2 years where I actually nursed him, many doctor's appointments, lots and lots of anxiety throughout those 2 years because we weren't sure what was going to happen. I was in denial most of the time, thinking, oh no, it'll work out. Everything always works out. And then it didn't. And then I spent the next 5 years finding myself again, burying my trauma in whatever I could do to bury it, exercise, food, whatever I could do at the time just to survive. I sort of got to the lowest point in my life where I knew that I could no longer live the way that I was living. What really appealed to me about TCI was that I could not only heal myself, but I could get business training at the same time.
There's nowhere else that I've found, and I've been looking, there's nowhere else that I've found that is as connected and cares as much about each other's success as TCI.
Yeah. I was a nurse for 10 years, a registered nurse, and I worked in ED, ICU, emergency and trauma was my main background. And then I also went to work in bone marrow transplant. So it's two contrasting things. One moment we're trying to save lives, and then in bone marrow transplant and ICU, we're kind of preparing people for the end of their lives. And I just started to see the difference between these two realities. I was like, there's so much more to life and we're missing it. We're missing all of life. And so I knew that I wanted to help people in a way where they got that, but nursing wasn't providing that for me.
And it felt like a very safe environment, and also an environment where I could be myself. I could just come and I was going to be supported, and it felt safe.
So I am full-time in my coaching business, which I never thought I would have said 3 years ago. I love what I do.
I was a CEO for over a decade, and I wanted to try and take the dysfunctional out of leadership. I help people identify their blind spots so they don't get blindsided. And I also help people understand how they're wired for business. A lot of the stuff that we learn through the TCI programs has pretty much turned my business on its head. And I've found that the models that we get taught in TCI and all the fantastic learnings and coursework have just given me an edge over other people. For the first time in over a decade, I'm actually really loving what I do and able to make impact rather than just dealing with people issues all the time and fighting fires like you do as a CEO.
Why was I on a hamster wheel of experiencing addiction, financial drama, not having my stuff together, relationship problems? It was like a hamster wheel going around and around. And it was just driving me insane. And I wanted to know, one, why is this happening? And two, is there a way out? I realized that I had worked with counselors and psychologists in the past in a professional setting, worked with them one-on-one, but it was actually a coach that I'd been working with for 3 to 6 months, and I loved it.
I didn't know that you could learn to become a coach. I always used to think that you have to grow to become a coach. I realized that people are my passion, and what is the gift that I want to give? What is it that I want to share? And then like that punch, I got it. I felt like I found my home. This is what I want to do.
I didn't know that is a coaching, that is a thing. And I was actually doing that, and we were getting results. And I was like, wow, this is actually interesting.
I think I've been reborn. I joined TCI because I left my corporate job because I'm sick of it. And then when I started talking about TCI, people just kind of fall in love with me, and I got back to corporate. And now that I'm in corporate, I'm teaching what I'm learning. It just gets better and better. Like my partner, my kids, that personal development is just priceless. It's been an amazing journey. I can't put it into words. I've changed so many lives, turned it around, and I'm just so proud of them.
I have learned and grown so much in my own self as an individual. Helping other people, coaching, facilitation, this is something that I've wanted to do for years and years. And actually leaning in and learning all of the incredible things that I've learned has actually had this side benefit of helping me, which I never expected. So what I have learned about myself has been phenomenal. Everything about me has totally changed as a result of joining the Coaching Institute. It's been amazing.
I've been running multiple businesses, for about 15 years, and I'm just not happy in terms of, the income that I'm generating is one thing. And sometimes I have to pump in more money. And then at the end of the day, I'm not generating anything. And in fact, I feel so exhausted with myself. So the reason why I wanted to join TCI is because I still want to have this, I have this big dream that this time, if I really come out with this business, I want to make it successful. Not just successful, but I'll be able to sustain it and make it as a legacy.
I didn't think it was going to be a personal journey. I think when you take that first step of saying yes to you, you don't realize how powerful that yes to you, that TCI really, really embed in the organization. 5 years ago, I had a mental breakdown where I completely lost everything, and I started out on my personal development journey. When I joined TCI, I wanted to make a difference, but I didn't know what sort of difference I wanted to make. So I got the phone call, spoke to the WOW team, spoke to many people within the Coaching Institute, and I realized that this was actually what I had been looking for. This is the change that I needed, and to build the skills that I wanted to create my own business.
So I arrived in Australia in 2013 with $1,000, as you said, coming from a very financially, I would say, poor family. But being away from family, I went into depression. And at that time, it felt like, this was the end of the world. I'm alone. I don't have any family here. And then one day, I just wanted to not be alive anymore. And I was calculating my decision between if I should live or die. And I don't know by what stretch of imagination, but somehow Tony Robbins' video on 6 Core Needs showed up. Yeah, and it said, why do we do what we do? And I'm like, why do I want to suicide? I want to find out, why do I want to do that? Wow. So I just clicked on it and I listened to it and I was like, whoa, wow. And I listened to it again. I listened to it, I think 3 or 4 times at that time, again and again. So for 2 hours, I just watched the same video. And the 3rd and 4th time, I was like, I want to do this. I want to help people feel the way I'm feeling right now so that they don't have to kill themselves. Somewhere along that time, I came across the Coaching Institute while trying to work out how to be Tony Robbins. And and then it was from there that I got on the call and it just ticked all the boxes. I was like, exactly what I want to do.
I attended one of the trainings that you guys put on, and I actually had no intention to become a coach. I was kind of like sniffing around, just seeing what is this coaching stuff. I'm into personal development, and I was quite intrigued. And that was the start of it. And then in that training, something quite profound happened that did shift me to want to become a coach. And I was listening to the trauma going, yeah, but I don't know. I still got so many things to work out in my life before I could possibly coach anyone. I don't know where that fantasy came from. You got to be perfect to coach someone. Bizarre. Yeah. Now looking back, but at the time it was a very real block. And the way Joe, the trainer at the time, spoke to it was so beautiful. It was something along these lines of, you will attract or coach people at the level that you're at, and that's okay. And it just opened up this door of, I can go in, I can do this. That's possible for me. I can definitely coach people where I'm at. And so I stepped through that door, and well, things have never really been the same since. It is a gift. It truly is a beautiful thing to give yourself and those around you. I don't even want to dare imagine where my life would be if I didn't step through that door.
Honestly, take that next step, because it will propel you into everything that you've ever needed. And there is so much support, such an incredible community, and so many resources. So just get in there, take a chance, trust yourself. Even if you don't trust yourself, just get in there and do it and keep showing up until it makes sense, because I tell you, one day it will. And then all of a sudden, oh my God, the world is awesome.
Oh, I swear, for me, I still remember the day that I joined, and the apprehension I felt in my stomach, because I was making a decision completely for me. And it was so outside of my normal capacity where I did everything for everyone else. And yet I said yes to me.
This journey is the gift that keeps giving. Yeah. And the time that you want to be doing something in coaching is absolutely right now. Down the road, look back at today and go, geez, I'm so happy I said yes. Very much like I did that July when I met you, Matt, a couple of years ago. You helped me say yes. And anybody considering this journey, based off what you're hearing and seeing right now, I absolutely, I urge you and I implore you, give yourself the best gift you're going to give yourself ever. Do something about it today.
If you're wanting to join the Coaching Institute, live your dreams, because this is the place where you can truly make that happen.
If not now, when? I had been dreaming about this for years and years and years, and it's the time. So I would say to you, if you're inspired by this, if not now, when? Just lean in, jump in. This community is fantastic.
Literally, it has transformed my life. I've been running my own business for 2 years. I've met more people than I'd ever have met. I've expanded as a person, and I think the most joyful thing is I now know who I am. I really know who I am and what I'm capable of. And my relationships are so much deeper and meaningful, and I can't speak enough about, seriously, do it. Please, just do it.
If you're wondering, there's a reason for that, and that's because you know this is something that you want.
Your job isn't to know all the answers. It never is. It's not your responsibility. Your responsibility is to show up, and that is it. And all I had to do over the year and a half when I started was just show up. Sometimes I didn't, but I never quit.
Give yourself this gift. Just take this step, please. Like, I request you, just say yes. Just say yes to yourself. It's the most beautiful thing you'll do for yourself.
What do you like better? Is it your results or is it your excuses? And if there's anything in your life that you think you want to work on, then joining TCI is the best decision you'll ever make. Don't overthink it. Just have a go.
TCI is not just knowledge and information. It is that, and it's so much more than that, because it's a community which you have access to all this knowledge and trainings, right? But even more than that, it is how you apply that, how you integrate that into you as a person and into your practice if you have a coaching business, and the amount of support you get in that on every step, like a total package of everything I need to be able to serve people in terms of skill, knowledge, who I become as a person, and how I set it up as a business. And so anybody considering their career in this, I would say this is one place where you're going to be able to get access to any and every resource that you need. As I said, I started with $14 an hour in my pocket, and now I charge in excess of $400 to $500 an hour. So if you're waiting, if you're just on the edge, I would say time to wait is over. You got to say yes to yourself, because everything you need after saying yes will be provided to you. You just got to jump in, execute, and create the life.
You will never regret it. It'll be the best day of your life, and it will continue to be the best day of your life moving forward. Like, I wish I found you guys 5 years before I found you. Like, it's changed my life, honestly. I'd probably be dead, and that's no joke. Like, if I didn't find TCI, I don't know what would have become of me. I hate to even think. So the ripple effect from me actually joining the school is affecting so many other people, not just myself. So if you're sitting on the fence and you're unsure, you just have to do it. It'll be the best decision of your life, honestly.